What's going on, everyone? My name is Kris J, and I want to talk about 3 tips to help ensure success. I see a lot of people on a day-to-day basis kind of make big, life-altering decisions, or even little tiny mistakes. And these decisions can really impact our lives and who we are today. It all just kind of builds up, rolls downhill, what have you. Another thing I wanted to clarify before we get started is that success is determined by you. You are the only one to define success. This is the way how I define success. And if we have differing opinions, that may be a part of the reason why. I don't really consider it a monetary thing. I really consider it a lifestyle, a way of living. If you're happy on a day-to-day basis, and you can continually keep that happiness. So the first tip I want to talk about is awareness of your surroundings. And I really want to get into the technicals, like what I mean by this. This might mean you live in a bad neighborhood, you have a terrible job, you're in bad relationships, you need to be aware of these. You need to take a minute, think about, what's going on in your life, what's going on all around you, and you need to cut out the negative, keep with the positive, because these negative things will just impact you so heavily. Like, for an example, I see a lot of people in just terrible kind of dead-end jobs, and that's all they think about. They just think about going to work the next day, They get in this rat race kind of loop around life. They don't really strive for anything better because they don't sit down and take the time to think about anything better. They just think that life plateaus at this shit job. And it doesn't. There's plenty of great opportunities out there, and there's plenty of good things to do. Another thing I wanted to hit on are relationships in general. Whether it be friends, family, lovers, whatever. I see a lot of people stick in the same thing. They just get used to it, I guess. But they get used to this crappy idea of just coming over and dreading spending time with people. Like, why would you even consider that as an option? It's beyond me. Again, just kind of try to cut out the negative. You want to be aware of the negative first and foremost, before anything. Tip number 2 I want to cover for success is this basic principle. Things can wait, actions cannot. Like, I see a lot of people say, I need to get the new phone, I need to get the new car, whatever. These things, they're trivial. They can wait. New car isn't going to get you all the hot chicks you want. It's not going to lead you to happiness anytime at all. Actions, on the other hand, they cannot. I see a lot of other people, they focus on doing something, but they never act on it. They always try to put it off, and I was the worst one about this. They always put it off to the next day, to the next day, to the next day. I was very terrible at this. I didn't want to really do this video thing for a while. I did, but I really didn't want to carry through with it. I like the idea of it. And if you sit on dreams too long, they just become daydreams. And nothing you want to aspire to. Any kind of progress helps in these situations. You can keep messing up. It's okay. Because you'll learn the ropes, you'll find it, and you'll get it. The third tip I want to talk about, leading to success, is it's touching on the first one I did. It's awareness, but it's at a different level. You gotta be self-aware. You have to really understand what your strengths are, what your weaknesses are. You have to play on those. If you know what your strengths are, you know where you're gonna excel, and you know where to look for. I'm really good writing, I'm really good looking at analyzing things, and I'm really good at explaining things. So I think, like, writer, I want to go into business, that's pretty good. That's a lot more analytical stuff. But I'm terrible at chemistry. Like, I would be fired first day for an organic chemist. And I realized that. It's no big deal. Another thing, if you are aware of what you're strong at, what you're weak at, you don't have this sense of mentality like, I'm the best at everything. So I think if you have that sense of mentality, you live up to it. So every time you fail at something that you're not good in, you feel let down. This hurts your self-esteem. This hurts where you want to go. And with a low self-esteem, you can't really accomplish much. Sorry. Because you keep beating yourself up, and your self-worth, it just plummets. at least if you know your weaknesses, you can kind of brush it off. I'm not really good at organic chemistry. That's all. But to somebody that isn't aware, they'll just feel really defeated when they can't get something done. This kind of self-awareness allows you to kind of, awareness in general, I think, is just more analytical. Like, you have to look at the things, you have to understand how they function, you have to understand how you function, and how things come together. You will not save the world by yourself. You're not going to change the world by yourself. You have to rely on some people. You could be the forerounder, you'd be the guy in charge, you can be the leader. No single person has ever changed the way we live. Ever. It's just the foreman, the front man, what have you. I think knowing your weakness is quite humbling. Like, you're not the best at everything. Get over yourself. And it's just and I think really to know your weaknesses is like, alright, that's something I'm never going to try in 1,000 years. At work, there's a position where you just drive something around, hauling stuff. It sounds really easy. It does. But there's all kind of clearance you have to take into consideration, all kinds of that stuff. And I'm not quite good at that yet. I can pull most of the load, but I can't. The little end of it, the little end just always seems to hit and smash. Well, the other night at work, we didn't have any people to drive, and at the end, somebody had to go drive something out, and the assistant manager, was telling me, like, oh yeah, that's fine, you're kind of our last resort, though. And I'm like, oh, she paused, just to kind of be like, oh, I'm sorry, you're kind of our last resort. She paused to spare my feelings. I was like, oh, no, trust me. If I was in your position, I would be the last resort too. Don't worry, I have no delusions, grandeur. I'm just gonna accept it. I hit that last part. I think I'm getting off track here. What I really want to want to come back to is awareness at all levels. Awareness of your surroundings, awareness of yourself, and act on things. You've got to set it in motion. If you choose to sit on your ass all day, nothing's gonna get done. Bottom line. So you've got to do, dream, and do. Not dream and do. I think that's all I really want to talk about. Those 3 things I think can lead to a successful life. Don't try to get in the rat race of things. Be aware of your situation. Be aware of yourself. And don't dream on anything. Get to doing that thing. And that's all I have for you, people. So I'm going to let you know if you agree or disagree. You just throw it in the comments down below. And you let me know on that. See ya.